Did Izaya just get hit by a giant steel beam and then hit into a building? How is he gonna walk? Like, Izaya's human, right? Like, he's human, I hope. Like, is he human? Because Izaya... No normal man getting hit by a steel beam, okay, by Shizuo, would be able to get up and then walk. Because if you look at the frames, it looks like Izaya just got hit like a fucking ball. That's exactly what it looked like. I would not be surprised if that was the end of this fight, if Izaya just cannot move. I would not be surprised, because if you got hit by a steel beam, I'm willing to bet that you probably wouldn't be moving. Probably you'd be dead as fuck, but I don't know. Izaya's alive, but he doesn't look to be in too good of shape at the end of this episode. So, we'll have to see what's going to happen with the fight. But let's talk about the beginning portion of the fight. So, Izaya found a way to take out Shizuo, and he supposedly said, I can't beat you with normal methods, guns, or, having you crushed, or, different normal methods that would kill a man. So he's like, you know what? I decided I want to suffocate you to death. I want to have gas all go around. I want to suffocate you to where you can't move, lack of oxygen. But I want to blow the shit up and watch you die. And it almost worked until fucking Shizuo, he's just too OP. He just busted the concrete ground, went for the ground, and also Celty saved him as well, and it caused it to where he was okay. So, that's the question I have here right now. The main thing is Celty helped out Shizuo. She helped him out. And from what we found out is that Celty has lost all her memories. So that was one key main point of these last few episodes, is that Celty getting back her head, she would forget everything. And so the main question I have is why is she helping out Shizuo? I mean, does she remember anything about him? Does she have this faint memory that Shizuo and Celty are friends, or is there something else going on here? I have a lot of questions, but I will save it for later because I'm willing to bet Durarara will explain that in due time. So, back onto the fight, though. Izaya, I gotta say, you got your ass kicked. You got your fucking ass kicked. I feel bad that you're probably never gonna be able to walk again, but you kinda deserve it a little bit with how many lives you've ruined, Izaya. I mean, you have. I mean, you kinda trampled upon many people's lives throughout the entirety of this series, so I guess karma? I guess that's what it is, but damn. Just that scene, that won't leave my head. Like, that scene that I saw him get hit like a ball will not leave. It looked like that was painful. So, enough of that. Moving on to the next scenes to talk about. Shinra. Shinra regains his humanity. And I'm curious about that, because we know that you can kind of break past the control of Saika. This has been hinted at, it's been talked about. You can break past the control, and you can kind of use Saika's powers. And Shinra being able to remember Celty and still love her, I'm assuming he broke past Saika, and he's able to still love who he wants to love. For instance, Saika's will has been broken by Shinra. Shinra is now his own person, and I'm going to assume the reason for this is because since Shinra loves Celty so much, he's willing to go so far for her, and we've seen even in the flashbacks recently that he's willing to kill a person for Celty just to be with her, and I mean, he's willing to become a demon in human skin just to be with Celty. We know for a fact that his love is insane for her, so him being able to break Saika, it makes sense. It really does. From what we know from Saika and also know from Shinra and how much he loves Celty, it's there, and I really don't say it just happened out of nowhere. It definitely was built up properly, and seeing that, it makes me happy. The main thing is, though, is Shinra going to be okay? Because, I mean, he's hurt, he's injured, he's still slightly under the control of Saika, even though he loves Celty, he's still slightly under the control of her, and he's going to be going through a crowd that's very dangerous. I mean, other Saikas, and I mean, you have to also factor in that there's a big fight going on, like the entire town is pretty much fighting and trying to kill each other right now. So with Shinra walking out there, I'm worried for his safety, and that doesn't even begin with Roku. Roku, oh my god, the death flags. The death flags for him is insane. Like, he's been getting a lot. I've neglected to talk about that, but I cannot ignore it anymore. I can't, because this episode, it gave him another one. he's been getting constant death flag after death flag after death flag. I mean, when he was talking to Kita, and he's like, hey, you know, this is, you know, thankfully this is not a movie, because that would have been a death flag. It makes me worried, because the way it's building up, since we're at the final part of Durarara, like, this is the final part. I'm assuming this is the final season. I have been told by Chibits in the comments that there is a sequel light novel series, so that means this is the final of the light novel, like, part 1. So there's a very good chance a character will die, and I'm very worried right now, because there's a possibility Izaya could possibly die because of what Shizuo was doing, and also Shinra might be able to die because he's really hurt, and then we also have it to where Roku, he might die as well, because, I mean, there's a lot of death flags around him, like, it's crazy, like, he has so many death flags. So I have a lot of worries right now, because since this is the finale, like, we're getting closer and closer by the week, we're almost there, and we found out that this is, like, the ending of part 1 of Durarara. We know we should expect something very drastic to happen, because usually when a series ends and getting ready for a sequel, there's a crazy cliffhanger, you're like, what the fuck? And, you know, that's kind of how it ends, and I would not doubt that's what's going to happen for Durarara before we ever get a sequel anime series that talks about, you know, the Durarara sequel light novel. So what do I think is going to happen? A lot of shit. A lot of shit's going to happen next week. A lot of drama to revelations. And, I mean, there was even hints in this episode that Izaya might break down or despair very soon. Which, whoa. Is that what Shinra was trying to let us know in this? Like, he was implying that there is a weakness to Izaya. He can get, you know, scared, or, you know, he can get upset. And seeing that, it makes me assume that we might see this very soon. A side to Izaya we have never seen before. Him breaking down. It'd be crazy to see that if he was to break down in front of Shizuo, what would happen? That'd be crazy. I really would love to see that if Izaya broke down or something and it started to show despair. I'd love that. That'd be some epic shit. But yeah, that's about it when it comes to this episode of Durarara. It was a great episode. Cannot wait to see what's going to happen next week. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.